second. Here we go. Let me make sure I'm going live on Facebook and on, where is it? And on, oh shoot, Facebook and YouTube. Why is this not? Okay. All right. There we go. Don't know what was happening there. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Healing Hour Live. This is Love Coach Dasha. Very hoarse. My allergies are acting up, but I am here. Hopefully, the new mic will pick up on me very well, and we can have a conversation about being on the healing path after infidelity. Now, you're in the right place if you have been through the trauma of infidelity, but you're trying to stay. You want to work it out. You love this person. For some reason, they've got your heart. And no matter what other people would say about it, what you would like to do is be able to work it out with them. And I am here to tell you that that is not only a possibility, you absolutely can do it. You can go down the healing path and you can still be with the person that you love even after this betrayal. I am here to talk to you today about it. So come on in here. Everybody on Instagram, hello, Mama Khan. Sorry, my voice is hoarse today, but hi, glad you're here. Let me see who I got over here on Facebook. And if you haven't been with me today, go to streamyard.com/Facebook and let them use your name so I can see it on my screen so I can keep up with all the comments. Sometimes it goes so fast that I don't even know who is saying what, and it just says Facebook user when it's popping up on my StreamYard screen. Got my little tea. I'm trying to spill the tea. I'm trying to drink my tea, keep my voice right. All right. Mama Kanye said just past 1 year. All right. He is slacking and showing his remorse, etc. It's really pissing me off. Okay, hey, we're a year later. How much longer are you expecting remorse? Okay. Hold on, let me. Oh, my cord got okay. There we go. How much remorse are you expecting? You are supposed to be moving forward. We shouldn't be continuously being like, oh, well, you should just be on your knees. You should be sorry. You're a year later. We need to be moving forward. No, not forever. Not forever. That is just punishing him forever for something that he did. And don't you want to get past it? If you're sitting there thinking about, oh, well, he should just be groveling to me all the time, that's actually kind of abusive mindset. You don't want to slide into that, all right? You don't want to slide into being an abuser because of some hurt that has happened to you. You know what I mean? Looking good. Hello, Steve over there. Hi. I know you're not going to have pain forever, okay? The pain is going to go away. You've got to stop feeding the pain. You can't keep on feeding into the pain and think the pain is going to go away. You're encouraging it. You're saying that you want to live your life with him, constantly being reminded that he cheated by his constant remorse and groveling to you. Does that sound like a healthy relationship? And you think about it like that. Like I hope that reaches you because it's not a healthy way to live, and neither one of you are going to be happy. So, like at some point, you got to let the pain be in the past. We are at a year now. We need to be looking forward, not backward. Okay. All right. I'm getting in advice before I get into the basics over here, but I am glad that you made it past the anniversary. I'm glad that you did that. All right. All right. Let's see. All right. I can see over here. Beautiful. All right. So, everybody that's here right now, give me some likes, give me some love. If you're on Facebook, if you are on Instagram, let me know that you're here, you're seeing me. I know the internet was acting up over here too. It was doing some weird flashy thing, but it stopped. So, okay. All right. Oh, I froze. Oh, okay. I was just saying that's not a healthy way to live. You want to move forward. We don't want to stay dwelling in the pain forever. Okay? You've had this pain, but that pain is going to go away. You got babies, right? Like that was the most excruciating like physical pain I've ever been in. And I have like pretty much forgotten it at this point. Like I couldn't pull up the actual feeling of the pain right this minute. Pain is supposed to go away. You're not supposed to dwell in it forever, okay? Don't do that to yourself. That's not fair. And that's not a really good, healthy relationship. It's kind of an abusive thing. I want you to just be remorseful and groveling and reminding me of how bad you were a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 16 years ago, because you were so bad, you treated me so bad. All right. Don't be like that. That's you don't want to make somebody be like that for like forever just because you think it's gonna hurt forever, and it's not gonna hurt forever. It's not. I'm not hurting at all about it now. I'm not hurting at all about it. So you all get are going to get to the place where you don't hurt. All right. So let me go to the basics. So every time you're going to be with me, I'm going to give you basic things that you can do all on your own to start to try and heal this trauma. This is a trauma, okay? We are treating a trauma here. And there are things that you can do. As a matter of fact, most of the things that are going to heal you are going to be things that you can do all on your own. You really won't even need him to participate. It's going to help you on your own. Okay. So I need you to be doing these things. Okay. Everything that I'm about to say, make sure you're trying to follow through on it during the week. It is going to make your life easier. All right. First things first, we're going to do our deep breathing. Have you been doing your deep breathing? Do you know about the deep breathing? Your first time with me, hey, you may not have heard me talk about this before, but when you do your deep breathing after a trauma, what you are doing is taking back over control of your brain. Your brain is on autopilot when you have been hurt, okay? Your brain takes over and gets that fight or flight response, starts flooding your body with adrenaline, starts changing the way your breathing works. It will make your breathing faster and more shallow. You will not get as much oxygen in. You will not get out as much carbon dioxide. All right. So you are impaired at that point. So what we need to do is we need to make sure we take back that control over the breath. That's the very basics. Taking back control over the breath so that your body knows and your brain knows that you are the one that's in control. You don't need adrenaline. You don't need a whole fight or flight response. You don't need all that. You just need to be able to breathe. Okay. So, yeah, allergies, man. Allergies are killing me. All right. So, the first thing is doing your deep breathing. So, what we're going to do is we're going to do 4, 7, 8 breathing. And I do that one just because I like that combination of numbers. That's the combination of numbers that will make my brain work the hardest when I'm trying to just shut my brain off and just focus on the counting and focus on the breathing. But there people do 5, 5, 5. People do all sorts of different variations on the breathing. But what I do is 4, 7, 8. What we do is we blow out, and you're going to inhale through your nose if you can. Inhale for a count of 4. You're going to hold that breath for a count of 7, and then you're going to blow out like you're blowing out birthday candles for a count of 8. Now, when you blow out, make the noise, the whooshing noise of breathing out, okay? That is going to help you. It's going to get some of that carbon dioxide out, and it's going to tell your brain, hey, every time I hear that sound, every time I'm doing, that means I'm taking back over control. I am in control of this body. I'm in control of this brain. I am able to breathe on my own. Thank you. I do not need a panic attack right now. All right. So we are going to do 4, 7, 8. Join me, join me. You have the alarm set. Oh, bless your heart. I'm so glad you did that. Good, good, good. Hold on. Let me see who you are. Had to refresh it. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's going slow. All right. Let me see. All right. You said, just said, you said, I have alarm set throughout the day for my breathing exercises. Starting as soon as I wake up. It's no joke. It changes your whole day. I'm telling you, it does. Because you have been in this traumatized state, your brain has changed the way it works. We've got to be actively trying to change it back. Okay. We cannot just go through the day and just be on edge and be holding on to all that tightness and all that anxiety and all that hurt and pain all day long. It changes your brain. It is harder to get back. So what you have to do is start with the small things every day, working on the deep breathing. All right. So we're going to do the deep breathing together. Blow out, in for 4, hold for 7, and then blow out for 8. All right. First things first, blow out. In out through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. Lovely. How does it feel when you're doing your deep breathing? Let me know. Just as said, it feels good. Change the whole day. All right. Just doing it that set of times feels good. Do this 5 times a day, 5 in a row. 5 times a day. If you do this consistently, you're going to bring that anxiety level way down. It's going to come down. You're going to be calmer. You're going to be more centered. You're going to have oxygen in your brain so you can think before you speak. Okay. All right. Second thing is do your journaling. Have you done your journaling today? All right. I need you to sit down with your journal. Okay. I need you to break that bad boy open. Sit down with your favorite pen and write for about 5 minutes every day. Okay? Every single day. All right? Don't let it become a consistent habit that you are using that will help you to monitor how you're feeling because you're going to use the date, the time, and your level of anxiety to be able to tell you how well you're doing. Okay? And if there are any patterns that emerge from that date and time. So, what we need to do 5 minutes first thing in the morning when you get up. Think about your thoughts, your day, your feelings. How are things going to go? Write down for about 5 minutes what you anticipate happening, what things could be a trigger that you might need some help with. Write it down, make a plan. Then, before you go to bed, sip on a little bit of chamomile tea. Sit down and write your journal for about 5 minutes before you go to bed. Get the negative thoughts that have been playing out in your head, put them down on paper. Tell your brain, hey, I will address this tomorrow. Whatever negative thought it is that you got going on right now, I will take care of this tomorrow. But for tonight, I'm going to rest. Your brain will hear you. Your brain will let you go ahead and write it down and then get rest and then deal with it tomorrow. Okay. You got to take back control of your brain. So when you're doing this consistently, you will find that when you put your level of anxiety at the top and then you put it at the bottom when you're finished, you will find that your level of anxiety falls even while you're journaling. In that 5 minutes, it can bring that level down. Now, the levels of anxiety, 0 to 10, okay? 0 is no anxiety whatsoever. All is right with the world. 10 is I want to rip my hair out, tear my clothes off, run screaming down the street naked. That is a 10, all right? It's a loss of control. You don't have control over yourself anymore. If you are at a 10, you are probably not sitting down journaling. So flip that around, maybe make it a 9. But write it at the beginning and write it at the end, and then let yourself see how much the journaling actually works. Hey, hey, Mariah on Instagram. That's Mariah. Hello. Mm. The voice, boy. I'm telling you, the voice is pitiful today. All right. So, that's about the journaling. You will be able to look back and you'll be able to tell, like when you had great days, you'll be able to tell your brain, hey, look, there was a great day right there. Great day is still happy to me. And then you'll be able to tell your brain, the bad times only lasted for like this amount of time this time. Last time it was like longer, it was double. Hey, I'm doing better. You'll be able to talk to your brain in facts. Your brain is saying a lot of things that are based in trauma that aren't facts. their feelings. And by journaling, you'll be able to contradict the feelings with the actual facts. Your brain will say everything is terrible, and your journal will say, no, it wasn't. So you'll be able to tell the difference. Um, the third thing kind of goes along with that. You've got to be working on being grateful. All right. I know. It doesn't seem like a situation where you should have to be grateful. However, you have things in your life every single day that you should be grateful for, that make you feel a little bit more tender in heart, that make you feel a little bit better about yourself. Okay. So I want you to be focusing on those things that you are grateful for. It is a smaller step from I feel awful to I feel grateful than it is from I feel awful to I feel great and my relationship is wonderful. That's a bigger jump. All right. We've got to start with a bit of a smaller jump on that. All right. So that's what I want you to do, is be grateful. And to do that, to encourage that in the group, in the Love After Cheating group, I have Thirsty Thursday. I want to hear good stuff. Okay. Tell me good things that you have been experiencing in your life this week. Your brain will try and make you believe that everything is awful. You do not have to believe that, because it's not true. The fact is, you have wonderful things happening to you all the time, and your journaling and this practice will help you to recognize them. That changes your brain too. That changes the effect that that trauma had on you. You got to be doing everything you can on all the levels to be able to change that. All right. So for Thirsty Thursday, let's see. Caroline. Caroline says, I have not been having the best time lately. So I'm grateful for this group and the love coach Dasha. Oh, thank you. I am also thankful that my husband knew I was having a hard time and called me today to try and help and make me feel better. Caroline, that is lovely. Look at him being connected. He was there with you in the moment. He knew. It was like, ooh, it's a bad moment. Let me not avoid her. Because you've been changing your reactions, and then that makes him change his reactions too. So you have been changing how you've been dealing, because you've been in the group, you've been participating, and then he saw that and he was like, okay, she's been doing pretty good. I see her struggling a little bit today. Let me make sure that I acknowledge her. Let me make sure that I don't run this off into the ditch again and make myself a target for her wrath again. So excellent. I am so glad to hear that, Caroline. I'm sorry you've been having a hard time lately, but keep going. Keep going forward. That's the only way to go. Don't sit down and get stuck in the feelings. Move forward. Okay. Lovely. If you have a Thirsty Thursday, if you have something good, positive, wonderful, right to share with us, come on, post it. Put it in the comments. Let me know on Instagram or on YouTube or on Facebook. I will see them all through my StreamYard. So let me know what good is happening in your life today, okay? Oh, my. Let's see. Last thing that I want to tell you that you can do all on your own. You don't have to wait. You don't have to feel like, oh, I have to wait for him to participate, is to stop asking all those questions. You know the questions I'm talking about, don't you? You're like, I want him to be transparent. I want him to answer all the questions that I have about the affair. I don't want him to say, I don't know to my question. Look, sometimes the best thing he can possibly tell you is I don't know. All right. If you asked him all these questions and he had all of the answers, he thought it was just as important as you do, would that make you feel worse? If it meant so much that he's got all the answers at hand to give to you, wouldn't that make you feel like, oh, this is really kind of important thing to him? It's important to you because it's something that hurt you. But to him, this was cheating. It was sex. It was assuaging his ego. That's all it was. He wasn't paying attention to her like that. It was, they might have, some of them fall in love in love, but that's still just brain chemistry, and you're not really even asking the people about themselves. Then you're kind of obsessed with them, but you don't remember most of that stuff. So you're asking somebody who is in an altered state a whole bunch of questions that are going to hurt your feelings in the end. You don't need to keep asking those. Hey there, Dinah. How you doing, girl? I see you, Lou. But yeah, stop asking all those questions. You got to stop with that. When you ask those questions, you open up the wound again. When you talk about a trauma, you re traumatize yourself, especially if you haven't done any work on healing from it yet. You're going to re traumatize yourself. So instead of asking those questions, because your brain wants to ask questions on trauma, it is a normal thing that your brain wants to do. Although we're learning we can't just let our brains do whatever they want to do. Even so, it is a normal thing for your brain to do. It itches, it wants answers to questions. So instead of asking, what positions did you have sex with her in? And how many times was it? And is there a video? And let me see her. Instead of all of those questions, let's go for some more productive questions, something more healing that will scratch that itch to ask questions, but will not devastate you in the meantime. All right, is that fair enough? All right, so this is the and this is the healing edition. This is an excellent game. It's like 199 questions by theskindeep.com, but you ain't even got to go there. Go to Amazon, the and it is on there. They have a ton of these card games, and it's just getting to know people. So it's like, they got long-term relationship one, they have mother-child one, they got a whole bunch of questions that you can ask to your significant others, your loved ones. I think even coworkers. I think they got one for that too. But go and pick this up and grab these questions and ask better questions, okay? Ask productive healing questions instead of questions that come from pain and come from this wound inside you. Better questions like, what do you think I really want that you don't fully understand? All right, that's fair, right? That's a fair question. What do you think I really want that you don't fully understand? What do you think I really want that you don't fully understand? Okay, fair enough. That's a good question. That's a better question, right? Isn't that more interesting of a question than some of these terrible questions that are going around in your head? Isn't that a better question? All right, let's try another one. Keep three of them. When was the last time our relationship changed? And what do you think that has led us to? Relationships change all the time, not just for this. There are stages to relationships, there are stages to marriages. You will never be in the same place twice in your relationship. It's always going to change. So, when was the last time it changed? And what do you think that led us to? When was the last time our relationship changed? And what do you think that led us to? That's a good question. And then one more. What do you think I'm learning from you? That's a great question, right? Isn't that a better question? What do you think I'm learning from you? What do you think I'm learning from you? Isn't that a way better question? Isn't that a way better question than the questions you've been asking? The questions you've been asking are painful, aren't they? Every time you get an answer, it sucks. So let's not do that to ourselves. You are trying to heal this trauma, and you really need to stop stepping into the pain, paying attention to it, dwelling in it, or else you're not going to stop hurting. Okay? You're going to keep on opening that wound up, going to keep tearing it open every time it starts to close, and it's going to get infected like that, and then it's going to be probably trying to take your whole relationship's life because of this infection. You gotta slow down with the questions. Does that make sense to you? Let me know if you're here with me right now. Let me know, does that make sense? Is that a good reason not to keep on asking these questions? And besides the fact that the answers to the questions always suck, they never answer questions right. God knows men never answer questions right. You can set them up with the answer in the question, and they still are going to mess it up. So we know that about them. We know that we are better with words. So let's stop asking them questions that are going to get them in trouble and make us hurt. All right? All right. feel y'all here. Let me know if you've got questions. I'm getting ready to start off and talk about answering a few of these questions. Fascinating thing that happened in the group today with the side chick was in the group like last year. Who knew? All right. Okay, so I took her out, just so you know. But it was a very interesting thread, and she was telling us about how we can look in the member section and see if we have any common people in the member section, and you can find out if the other woman is in here. But I, I don't know why. Well, yeah, side hoes. Yeah, they want attention. I know. That's always the reason for it. They want attention. That's the reason that they would be in this group. But it was a very interesting thing. It took about it's almost 7,000 people in here. It took that many people for that to happen suddenly, for somebody to realize that the other woman was in the group. That's some definite growth in the group. I guess. You all let me know if you end up seeing the other woman. Let me know. I'll boot them out. But then again, the same thing might happen to them because karma's a bitch. So they may be healing from somebody hurt them that way too. So they might be in here for a legitimate reason because what goes around comes around. So maybe that happened. Mm. Caroline said, I'm struggling with me. I'm having trouble forgiving myself for taking him back. I feel like I've let myself down. But you were doing what you wanted, though. So how is that letting yourself down? You know, women are, God knows, we're taught to have and carry so much damn guilt. We are supposed to carry it around with us all the time. Who we sleep with, who we're with, what we do, how we behave. Yeah, we've got to start just paying attention to what we actually want. And if this is a situation where, in this big of a situation, you still were like, no, I love him that much, why the hell shouldn't you have that? What is wrong with you keeping that feeling? What is wrong with that? What failure of you are you doing to be able to feel that much love for another human being? Isn't that the point? Isn't it the point to be on this planet and to love big, to open ourselves up and have these relationships and have these experiences and grow from them? What is wrong with you doing that? Let me know. Tell me, Caroline, what is it that you're feeling so guilty about? Because honestly, I think that's the patriarchy. Okay, that's the way I feel about it. All that guilt that women are supposed to be carrying around with us. Don't you have guilt for a whole bunch of other stuff too? Most women I know got guilt about what kind of mother they are, what kind of wife they are, what kind of daughter they are, what kind of sister they are, what kind of cousin they are. We carry it around with us like it's a badge of honor to feel guilty because we're not doing enough for everybody else. And this time it was doing something for yourself. This time it was, hey, yeah, this is a hard situation, but I think that I love this person enough to go through this hard situation, to grow from this, and to get to a different place with them. Like, what's wrong with that? You said, but I think I deserve to be loved enough for him not to do what he has done. Okay, several things with that. Let me break that down. All right, let me see. Uh, You deserve to be loved, absolutely. There's nobody on the planet that deserves to be loved enough for another person not to fuck up. That's expecting too much of the universe. You're saying that you're expected to be loved on a level where this person never messes it up, never does anything wrong. That is too high of a standard. You know what I mean? I understand that you're saying that this is a big, huge thing. Okay. I get that. But you're saying that, okay, I deserve to be loved in that way, that this never hurts. He never hurt me in that way. The thing is, he's going to hurt you in some way because we are human beings and we live on this planet together and we are contradictory and we want different things and we hurt the people that we love because they're so close to us, because we're so open to them. It happens every day. Your own mama can hurt you. Your own mama can treat you in a way that makes you feel less than the love that they should be giving to you. But this is about you. It's about your love. It's about your desires. It's about what you want. This is a situation where you didn't have control over what happened to you, but you damn sure have control over what happens next. You don't go back into the past and say, oh, this should have never happened. It did. And you made your decision that, remember, first step of the dreams formula, making that decision, you decided that this person was worth it. I don't think you're wrong about that. I think if it got to that point and you were still deep down like, no, to me, he's worth it, I think you have found a remarkable thing. I think you have found something so beautiful and so special that it should be preserved, and you are not to be faulted for wanting to preserve it. If that's the way you feel, don't worry so much about him and how could he have done such a thing, because that's going to be a thing that happens in everybody's relationship. How could you have done such a thing to me? That's guaranteed. Okay, at some point in a lifetime with a whole other person, they're going to do something and you're going to be like, how could you? You know me, why would you do such a thing? Yes, we all deserve to be loved, but I feel like we deserve to be loved unconditionally too. I feel like that. I feel like if you can find that person that you find unconditional love for, you found a good thing. You found nothing. So, you know, hold on to it, value it, be grateful for it. Every day, I am grateful for the opportunities that this has presented to me. I am going to learn and I'm going to grow and I'm going to experience unconditional love. You know, you signed up to get here to have some unconditional love in your life. Hey, you got it. You just got to go ahead and accept it. And that's hard, but it's worth it, at least in my opinion. You let me know if I'm crazy. I know I say some crazy stuff. I know I say things that other people do not say. But we are not like other women. We're just not. And that's okay to accept. That is all right to accept about yourself, that you're just not average. You're not like everybody else out here. You can do things and be things that other people only can dream that they can be. And so this one thing is the thing that's going to open up the doors to all the other things that you could do and be, because in this situation, you were doing something fantastic. You were doing forgiveness. You were doing unconditional love and whatnot. You're doing some things. Okay. So let me know. Let me know if that helps. All right. That's Mariah over on Instagram. Hey, girl. He said, I really need help with stopping the visions of beating this girl's ass because I really can't stop the bad thoughts. What will help with that is to expend some of that energy, to actually use some of that rage, some of that adrenaline, and actually get some of that out without actually touching her. They have what's called rage rooms. Fantastic. Go in there and beat up on some crap. Okay. Break some stuff. All right. Scream, holler, rage. And it's all protected area. You got goggles, you got a bat. You can go ahead and go to town, and it will get some of that adrenaline out. What it is you're in a fight or flight. And this is the animal, the wild animal that has come and is trying to ruin your life. And you feel like you got to fight her. We don't need to stay in the fight or flight. That's exhausting to our bodies and to our minds. We got to come out of fight or flight. So if you go ahead and fight in a controlled way, okay, do not go beat her up. But if you get that out in a more controlled way, you're going to feel better. All right. So if you don't have a rage room near you, I'll tell you my favorite thing to do. I love to go to thrift stores and I love to go get little teacups. Okay. It is the fact that they are tiny and they are porcelain and they break really good. And I get a set. Get a whole set if you can. But most of the time, there's one or two sitting around. So I'll get like 6 different ones. Take those bad boys home and go throw them and scream at the wall. Okay. Trying to tell you, makes you feel so much better. Oh, I love the sound of something smashing when I want to fight with somebody. All right. I love that sound. It makes me feel better. So try that out and see. All right. But you got to get rid of that adrenaline. And it is a physical reaction that you're having. And if you don't do something about it, you may do something that you regret and that wasn't completely in your control. So let's go ahead and work some of that aggression out, scream into a pillow, throw things, rage out a little bit in a way that is not going to hurt anybody. All right. Hey, breathe, girl. That's all. Just do the breathing, smash some stuff. All right. All right. Let's see. Diana. Hey, Diana. Healing is so hard having so many triggers. Girl. Yeah. And then you got the situation that you're dealing with on top of that, too. So you got extra added on stress on top of the fact that you're trying to heal from us. So, yeah, life is hard. It beats us sometimes, but you're beating it though. You got to stand up and you got to say, okay, when you're feeling the triggers, all right, you got to come up with a plan. What do I do when I'm triggered? Do you have a plan? Do you know what you're going to do? You know what your goal is when you're triggered? Do you know what the triggers are? Because that's why the journaling comes in so handy. You write that down. You know what happened that you got triggered, and then we can start to study it a little bit. And so then the next time a situation that reminds you of that situation starts to happen, you can recognize that, oh, hey, that's a connection. All right, I might be feeling some kind of way about that. I may be triggered by this. What did I do the last time to calm down? Well, I didn't catch it the last time. The last time I freaked right the hell out and I was yelling and screaming and we had an argument and we were mad at each other for 3 days. I prefer not to do it that way again. Okay, what can I do about it this time? And so, if it's like, oh, it was his phone was ringing a certain way, or he was on a certain app, or he was looking at something. Okay, I'm going to do my deep breathing. I am going to back away from his phone. I'm going to stop paying attention to what the fear is telling me, stop getting all into that, and tell myself that this is not a threat. Him using his phone dinging, him using apps, that is totally normal behavior for everybody. We all use apps. Our phones all ding. That is not a thing that I need to be afraid of. And then you go sit down and you do your deep breathing for a little while and get yourself together. So you got to know what the trigger is, and then you got to have a plan for it. And then you got to know, always, I'm going to tell you, you got to start feeling it in your body. This is not just a mental thing. This is a physical reaction that is happening to you. So if you are triggered, it will show up physically first. It will not make itself apparent to you in your thoughts. You will not know it until you're already bubbling over. But if you pay attention to your body, if you're like, most of the time you feel it right here and you pay attention to this area and you scan this area when you're doing your deep breathing all throughout the day, you are checking in. When you do that, you start to feel that kernel of discontent, that kernel of, ooh, what am I going to do? I'm so mad, starting to build up inside that spot. And then you can catch it when it's a smaller feeling versus it is a big old monster and it's about to stomp on your head. All right. So you got to catch it sooner. All right. That makes sense? Triggers are hard. Let's see. Elise says, I love hanging out with my girlfriends over the summer. How can I fully enjoy my life without worrying about what he's doing behind my back while I'm not home? Girl, you just got to go. You just got to go and do and enjoy yourself. You got to make up your mind that that's what you're about to go do. I'm going to go hang out with my friends, and you make the plan about hanging out with your friends, and then you stay present while you're with your friends. You are in control of that. I know your brain will wander sometimes, but you've got to be aware of it. You've got to say to yourself, hey, wait, no, I'm thinking about that crap with him. I'm not supposed to be thinking about that right now. I'm supposed to be right here, right now with my girlfriends, enjoying this sun and having a beautiful time. So I need to pay attention to the now. Because if you keep on paying attention to the past, you're never going to enjoy your future. You're never going to enjoy anything because you're always looking back at something that cannot be changed, that's just going to make you hurt, that is going to make you miss out on a good feeling that you could be having now. Don't miss the good feeling. Don't miss the good feeling being so obsessed with the bad feeling. That's just punishing yourself. Do you deserve punishment? Do you deserve to feel like that? Like, oh, I can't go out and enjoy myself because he did something wrong? No. No, we are not doing that. No, absolutely not. So just stay present with your friends. Go enjoy your summer. Have fun. Do good things. Leave the kids with them and go off and play a little bit. Everybody deserves that. Everybody deserves some time where they can go and be with their friends and enjoy themselves. That is something that you are supposed to have as a human being, okay? Especially a human being in a relationship with another human being. So you need to be participating in that on a regular basis anyway. Don't let your thoughts just wander off with you. Be present with your friends. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know. Let me know. You all tell me. You let me know if I'm talking crazy. Because hey, I got answers for you here. Says, Diana, you said, I know her car and I see that make and model daily, and boom, it puts me right back here there. I'm fixated on that darn car. My brain obsessively looks for it. Yes, your brain does that. Yes, it does. You have discovered something. It does that. What you tell your brain not to think about, it will think about. All right. So, all right, give your brain something else to be looking for with the cars. All right. Um, Look for, what I started looking for lately, which was interesting. This might just be my little neurodivergent brain, but I started looking because I realized that different car companies have different colors of paint. And so I have started being able to tell. I'm looking around for it's the most recent like Chevy blue. It's like a gorgeous blue. And I started looking for that. Um I started like looking for that in traffic. I do it from time to time just to test my brain and see what my brain will do. And it does it every time. If I give my brain an assignment about looking for a thing, and that thing that can pop up over and over again, it will see it every time. So give your brain a different assignment. Let your brain know, okay, look, I am looking for this particular color car. I'm looking for VW bugs. I'm looking for a white Lexus. I am looking for something other than that. And then it takes your brain to that thing. Whatever you obsess about, your brain will look for. Um, you can't tell your brain a negative. You can't say, don't look for this type of car. It will automatically do it. It does not understand negatives. So if you say, watch this, do not think of a pink elephant. Are you able to not think of a pink elephant? No, you're not. Your brain immediately pops up with, hey, here's a pink elephant. So it will do that while you're looking throughout the day. Your brain is doing that because you are considering her to be a threat. You are looking for her in that fight or flight state of mind, thinking this person is a threat to me. This is a threat. This is a threat. So I got to be on the lookout for it. I don't want her to sneak up on me. It's the same thing as when you see a spider in your room and then you look back and you don't see the spider. You're looking for spiders for the rest of the damn night. It's the same thing. Your brain is afraid that this is somebody that hurt me. This is somebody that I definitely don't want to be around. It's scary, big feelings, terrified. And then it will make sure that she's not around by looking for her car. But then that means you see all the cars that look like her car. You've got to start telling yourself that she's not a threat to you. That's what it is. That's what the whole issue is with your brain. Your brain is saying that she's a threat. You got to start telling yourself, I am the queen. Ain't no threats to me. That's ridiculous. There is nobody who is a threat to me. I am at my highest station. There's nobody who can be me. There is nobody who is good as me. There's nobody who can even see me. So I don't care if she come up behind me. So she better watch what she do. you know, I am not scared of her. She is not a threat to me at all. If I do see her, she should be scared. She should look away. You should expect that because that's what you're supposed to do when you see the queen. You're supposed to divert your eyes. She's not supposed to look dead in the queen face. So if you saw her on the highway and she didn't see you, of course, because you're the queen, of course you'd see her before she saw you. But just keep reminding your brain that she's not a threat to you. She is nobody that you need to be afraid of, nobody that you need to be watching out for. She's not that important. And that's the whole thing about side chicks. She ain't that important. That's the whole thing. If you can get with that from beginning to end, this side chick is not important. She is not a threat to me in any way, shape, or form. She is not. If you can get that into your head, it's a lot easier. All right, let's see. I tried, Diana. I tried. All right, let's see. Oh, and talking about the part of the dreams formula for this week, we did D a couple weeks ago. That is your decision to do this, to move on. And I was just talking about that to Caroline, about doing what you want, taking the love that you have and valuing it and following what your own heart wants you to do. That's important stuff, okay? Making that decision is important. You hold tight to that decision and remind yourself every time you're feeling bad, every time you're feeling guilty, every time you're feeling like it's not going to work. No, I have made up my mind. I know what I want. I will have what I want. And that is a hard thing to grasp, but once you grasp hold of it, it will hold you tight, girl. If you believe in your own decision, it's going to hold on to you. So the second thing was R, which is recognizing and overcoming the fear speech, knowing that stuff that goes on in your head, the thoughts that are swirling, that he never loved me, our love was always a farce, it wasn't real. All of that crap is all fear speech. That's all it is. It is just the sound of your brain in trauma. Your brain is like, oh, bad things have happened to me, and I need to focus on the bad things. And it will keep repeating those things over and over and over again. All right. It is fear speech. It is not real. All right. It's usually just a whole bunch of things that you are afraid of. All right. And then there is the fear speech that comes from other people. Other people will tell you, oh, you're so stupid for doing this. I don't know why you do that. Oh, pick me. I love that one. That's just that is just the phrase about women that just pisses me off the most. That pick me. It makes me so mad. But we are recognizing that these people are speaking from pain. They're probably speaking from the place of they have done exactly what you're trying to do. They tried to stay with somebody who cheated on them. Most of the time, if people give you that advice, oh no, you shouldn't stay, it's too terrible, you shouldn't do it, they've done it, but they didn't know how to actually heal, and so it ended in disaster. And so they can only tell you about disaster. I did it. I healed. I forgave him afterwards, and I healed. And I can tell you how to do that. So don't listen to the fear. Don't listen to the fear, what the fear has to tell you. You need to be paying attention to what you want. That leads us into today, which is the E. Oh, goodness. And at least, you know what? The E is going to play into that. Hold on one second. Let me tell you. Diana says, shoot a Beyonce heel soaking wet. That's what I'm saying, girl. Out here, queens. Queens heal. Queens get past stuff, okay? Queens make money off of it, all right? So don't be mad. Don't be mad about something that's gonna make you elevate, okay? This is gonna elevate you, all right? All right, but anyway, at least back to the E. The E of the dreams formula is evaluate the why. We all want to know why, right? We all want to know, why did this happen? And part of it is our insecurities. Our insecurities tell us that I was never good enough anyway. He never really loved me anyhow, and that's the only reason he was able to do this, because I was never good enough. Your insecurities start to focus. That's that fear speech, and then it starts to try and blame it all on you. But this was his action, all right? You did not do this, okay? So this was not about you. It's hard. It's hard as hell to accept that. That is one of the hardest things that I had to accept that I was really honestly believing that his actions had to do with me. That is delusional thinking. You don't have control over anybody else's actions, okay? You do not. No matter what the situation is, no matter how you think you could have manipulated it, you're not in control of somebody else's actions. So, all right, finally figured out, okay, that must have been him. All right, when we make bad decisions, usually that's not coming from the best place, right? When we are making bad decisions, when we are doing things that hurt the people that we love, aren't we usually hurting? Isn't that where that normally comes from? Hurt people, you know? That is what has happened here. There was something that was going on with him. Evaluate this why. Why did this happen with him? What pain was he feeling that made him think that this was a good idea? Because we all know it's a bad idea, right? If you got to the place where you were like, yes, cheating on my spouse seems like a great idea, you can't be in a good place. All right. So it's three categories. It's sick, sad, stupid. All right. And stupid ain't what you think it is. All right. Sick is any illness whatsoever. It could be addiction. It could be physical illness, mental illness. It could be all sorts of ways that you are sick. When we are sick, we are not at our best. We do things wrong because we want to feel better. That's why addiction, depression, that type of thing is added into this category because it is a physical illness. Those are physical illnesses. Even though they're mental illnesses, it's still your brain. That's still physical. So if you are having those illnesses, you are not at your best. I was a nurse for 20 years in a hospital. You know how many times I've seen somebody who was cheated on in the hospital? The girlfriend comes up after he done had a heart attack. All sorts of stuff like that happens because people don't do their best when their body is compromised. All right. We don't do our best work then. So could be that. Could be he was hurting in that way and that was what made him do it. Could be sad. Sad is a loss of some kind. He lost something. He lost his sense of himself. He lost his feeling of manhood. He lost his job. He lost his mom. He lost, anything. It could be any kind of loss, even feeling like he lost a relationship with you. Even that, it can all lead to feeling of that loss. And when people are feeling lost, they feel grief, and grief makes us stupid. All right. Grief makes us do all sorts of stupid things. I have seen not once, but twice people having sex in a funeral home. Okay. Twice in my life, I have witnessed it. So I know that grief makes us stupid. Right? I can tell you from personal experience, grief makes us stupid. So we do things wrong when we're grieving over some kind of loss. And then there's a third thing, which is stupid. Now, stupid is all about all the stupid things we're taught about being in relationships. Men and women are raised with completely differing views about how relationships are supposed to go. Okay. Men are told they're supposed to play the field, be with as many women as you possibly can. And women are told you better not sleep with that man. Keep your body count down. Make sure that you're saving yourself. You are not giving it away to anybody else. Now, somehow or another, those two people are supposed to meet up and have a good thing. All right. How's that supposed to work? All right. We've got to recognize that we've been told a whole bunch of stupid stuff. And so if he got a whole bunch of stupid things going on in his brain, that was from raising him that way. That's childhood trauma. All right. If you had a uncle or a dad or a cousin, somebody older that told you, oh, you're supposed to have as many women as you possibly can all at the same time. It doesn't matter what they say. Yeah, they're going to complain about it, but you're only a man if you do such a thing. Then, okay, that's planting that thought in the brain of a child and then expecting him to be a faithful, law-abiding person when he gets older. Doesn't work. That's stupid, right? So you've got to recognize that there are a lot of influences that we have that influence us about relationships. And we've got to remember that, okay, when you're looking at it, you got to look at how he came to you. What was his relationship with his mother? What was his mother and father's relationship? Did he see a whole bunch of domestic abuse? Did he see his mother cheating on his father? Did he see his father cheating on his mother? What was happening there that formed his brain as a child? Okay. It's good stuff to know. You got to pay attention to that. All right. So that is the E. If you can use that guide to think about him, like Diana said, my husband lost his brother to suicide the year prior. Exactly. So he was experiencing that loss, experiencing that grief. Grief makes us stupid. All right. It seems like a good idea because you're in pain. When we're in pain, a lot of things sound like a good idea. You asking him a whole bunch of questions about the affair when you're in pain sounds like a good idea, right? Terrible idea, awful idea. But you think it's a good idea at the time because you are grieving, you are feeling that loss, and it makes you do stupid things. So we got to understand that about our mates. We got to feel a little bit of compassion about that. Don't use the why as how to make him stop doing it again. At least that's leading into what you're talking about. Don't make it be about trying to control him, trying to make it so that he never does this again, trying to make it so that you just never get caught off guard like this again. Don't make it be about that. Make the why be about, okay, he is hurting and I see his pain and I understand that he is having this pain and I feel some compassion for him. If you're able to do that, then you're able to forgive a little bit better. If you can have compassion for the fact that somebody is hurting really badly and they messed up because of it, then you can get past it a little bit easier. It's not so hard. It's not such a chore. When you are using the why for, oh, how can I stop him? It just makes you obsess over what he did, and then you're trapped in that loop. So that's what you're talking about, Elise, is how can we get past the fear of him doing it again and gain some confidence in healing a relationship instead of just doubt. You got to start moving forward. That's the whole thing. If we stay in the past, or we stay in the asking the questions and who was that earlier today? Mom Khan said earlier about, oh, well, I still have pain, so I still want him to be remorseful all this time later. If we're living in that, we are not moving forward. We're not paying attention to where we're actually at. And so if you're not paying attention, it could have been a whole bunch of time going by where he's doing all the right things and you're missing it because you're worried about if he does the wrong thing. So what is you're having a what if? Is that what a lot of the time that's what the question is? What if he does this again? What if I didn't know about it? What if he is talking to somebody right now and I have no idea? It has happened before is the answer to that. You need to answer the what if. The what if will keep on playing in your brain and freaking you out unless you answer it. So answer the what if. What if he does this again? I have the choice of whether I decide to be with him or not if he does this again. That is the what if. That is what will happen. That is right. That's exactly what will happen. I have a choice to make again if he does this again. Is there anything to be afraid of in that? No. It might hurt, but this wasn't fatal. This hurt. Yes, it did, but it wasn't fatal. It did not kill me. So, all right, I could deal with having pain again. That's what would happen. Okay, what if he did this again? I would hurt. Yes, I would. Would that defeat me? Is that a question? Now we need to ask that question of ourselves. Would it defeat me if I was hurt? No, it will not. It will not. I promise you it won't. You are stronger than you think you are. You can handle more things than you think. And if that happened again, you could say, okay, well, I've decided that I don't want to be with you anymore. I don't want to keep on trying because I don't feel like it's worth it to me. But only if it's not worth it to you. So don't just paint yourself into the corner and say, oh, well, if this happens again, I would just have to dump him. You may not. That it does happen again. And you may have the decision to stay with him again. I did. He cheated over and over again. He cheated like 4 years in a row. So I had the choice each and every time. And, trying to stop it from happening drove me nuts. And it's not like I could do that. It's not like I could stop him. He is a perfectly free person. He can do what he wants to do. He can. I didn't want him to, but all right. We got to a place where he decided that he didn't want to. And that is what the thing is, Elise. You got to start to move forward and have good times together and pay attention to the now and move that thing forward and get some time, get some cushioning behind it. All right. Get some time where, okay, it's been a while since this has happened. And yeah, I could be afraid of him doing this, but what am I afraid of? He's been doing the right things. He's been acting in a way that is trustworthy. He has been doing things to make sure that I know that he loves me. So, okay, I got a little extra time this day, after this week, after this month. It will continue to stretch out. And then you can show your brain, hey, there was nothing to be afraid of in the first place. I'm assuming, I don't know how far you are out from D Day, from finding out, but every day is a little bit of extra padding that you can have in between. Well, it's been a while since he's done it. He hasn't done it yet. I haven't seen him do it. All right, I'm going to believe in him because this last week has gone by. I haven't seen any evidence that he's doing it. I'm going to trust that he's not right now. And talk to your brain. All right, talk to your brain. You must be paying attention to the fact that your brain is on trauma right now. And what it will do is tell you awful things that are not true. So you got to check your brain. Hey, right now, that is not the case. I could be afraid all the time of him doing it again, but that's going to mean that I'm going to miss out on things. So, brain, that is not helpful to me. That is not going to help me live my life in a positive way that I feel good about. So, I'm going to ask you to slow that down. Don't come to me with any complaints about him unless you see something that really actually happened. Something that's real, something that's concrete. If you see that, let me know. Otherwise, I'm not going to sit here and be afraid. I'm not going to do that. That is not an appetizing idea for me. I don't think that that'd be fun. So let's not do that. And tell your brain which way you want it to go and expect it to go that way and be focusing on that. Be journal about it. Remind yourself about it, because when you do that, your brain, it will be like, oh, she said she didn't want to keep on hearing about what bad things he did before and what he could do again. All right, we got to think of something else. And then you finally wear your brain down to the point where it actually like stops doing that. All right. You got to catch those negative thoughts though too. Catch those negative thoughts when they start swirling. When you are having the same thought over and over again, it's a negative thought. It's messing with you. So just snatch it out of your head and examine it a little bit. If it's repeating, what am I trying to say here? What am I trying to feel here? What am I missing here that I think that this thought will give me? Examine it. Pay attention to those thoughts. Write them down. Do a little journaling behind them. Put some bullet points underneath that thought and see what it is that you're trying to come up with. What feeling of safety you would like from that thought. Yeah, makes sense? Good. Okay, good. I'm glad that makes sense to you, at least. It's a little complicated, but it's just constantly working on your brain. It's constantly understanding that your brain has been changed by this trauma and you have to change it back. And some of the things that are there, some of the triggers, some of the underlying ruts that you've been in, they're harder to get rid of, but with practice, with time, with consistency, you'll get rid of them. All right. All right. Lovely. Woo, I've been talking a lot. Do I got any other questions? Let me know. I think I got one more over here on the post. Yes, I do. Let's see. Jennifer said, how do you build trust back? Oh, it's a very simple thing. You trust. You believe in the person. That's how you do it. You do it over and over and over again. That's as simple as I can possibly make it for you. I'll explain a little bit. Trust is a belief. That's all it is. Trust is not confirmation. Trust is not I know, I am sure, because I have evidence. Trust is a belief in someone or something. So you've got to make the choice to believe. And then you've got to practice it. Every time your brain is like, you shouldn't trust him, he's going to hurt you, you shouldn't believe. You got to be checking that. You've got to be checking that thought and saying, but what I want to do is trust. That's what I want. That's what I desire. That's what I'm going for. And so every time there's a choice, every time there's a possibility of you trusting or not trusting, you have to decide to trust. You have to decide to believe in your person. So if it's the fear is coming up in your head, he never really loved me, in order to trust him that he does, You have to say to that thought, no, that's not true. I do not believe that. I believe that he loves me. I do not believe that he didn't love me. I don't believe that at all. I believe in his love. I trust his love. And so every time when there is a possibility of I could trust in him or I could not trust in him, you choose trust. That's how you do it. That is the only thing that does it. There is nothing that he can do. There's nothing that he can say that is going to be like, oh, here, baby, here's all your trust back. Let me give it to you on a silver platter. It doesn't work like that. It does not. You build the trust by actively building the trust. When you started trusting him, you were first in love when you first started trusting him. And when you fell in love with him, your body and your brain were producing some hella chemicals. Okay. You had all this chemical cocktail going on in your blood that helped you to trust, that helps you to just believe. You wanted to, because this is the person that you were attracted to. This is the person that your body and your brain wanted. And so it aided you in trusting. You don't have that now. Yeah, and it's not something that's like abnormal. People do it all the time. People break down trust and rebuild trust all the time. All right, all through relationships, it gets broken down a little bit, you build it back up again. It gets broken down a little bit, you build it back up again. So that is a normal thing to happen. Don't think that that's not an ordinary thing. It is. Every relationship, there is a period of time where, oh, I don't trust you, I don't trust you either. And we got to work on that and rebuild it in order to rebuild the relationship. So, it's constantly remembering to work on it, to give that trust when your body and your brain are like, no, I don't want to. He might hurt me. That is the moment when you trust. That's the moment when your body and your brain are screaming like it could go wrong. What if it goes wrong? I believe it won't. I believe it won't, body. I believe it won't, brain. I don't think that it's going to go wrong. I think that this person is somebody that I can believe in. I'm going to believe the best of them. That's when it happens. All right. Y'all with me on that? Let me know if that's craziness. I'm going to always tell you the way that I did it. I'm not going to tell you what, everybody says is the right way to do it. I found out when I was going through this that, come to find out, people didn't know what the hell they were talking about. Who knew? So when I figured that out, I was like, okay, let me do the exact opposite of what everybody is saying. And that's where the dream formula came from. Everybody was saying that, oh, the decision is up to him, whether he wants to stop seeing her or not, whether he wants to be with you. No, the decision on whether he is with me anymore is on me. I have already been through enough. I've already been through a situation where I didn't have control. I have control over this. And that's what I'm going to go for, is what I want. And so when you do that, it is a completely different place than, oh, you should let him do it. So the exact opposite of most of the advice that you're getting right now is probably the right advice. So anything that is like, oh, I love that advice, and it makes you feel bad, though. It's a little tight, a little tense in your chest when you hear it, but it's like, oh, it feels good. It feels vindictive. If it feels like that, it's the wrong thing to do. If it is really genuinely like, okay, it's scary to do this. This is a challenge for me. If it's like that, chances are it's the right thing to do. Alrighty, let me see. Any other questions, comments, thoughts, complaints? Anything you want to tell me? Anything you want to correct me about? Anything you're like, oh no, Dasha, that's completely wrong. Or, oh my God, girl, you're so right. I don't mind hearing I'm right. Let's see. All right. Doesn't look like any other questions. I'll keep an eye out. But for now, we'll go ahead and go to the end, which is doing your affirmations. Remember, I told you all those things in the beginning that you could do on your own? This is another thing that you can do on your own. I want you to have a whole deck of them that you can do all by yourself. You don't have to wait for him to try and make you feel better. That's silly. You have all the power of whether you feel better or not. There's no need to wait on him. Do the things that will make you feel better. You'll feel better. All right. And the thing that will feel better is doing affirmations. Okay. Oh, Diana, you said your husband is away for work and that makes you uneasy. I know, but he's going to work. Girl, he's doing the right things. You have seen that he's been doing the right things. You don't have any reason to believe that he is not going to. So tell your brain, hey, this man got to work. Okay, he can't. That's the first thing. All right, this man has to work. So you can't have me freaking out and being all uneasy because he got to work. That's just unacceptable. We can't keep living like that, brain. I'm not accepting that. So just go ahead, have that conversation with your brain. Let your brain know, hey, he absolutely has to work. That is a totally normal thing to do. He is not doing anything wrong. He hasn't been showing me that he's doing anything wrong. He's been on his best behavior. I'm going to trust him. That same thing. That same thing about trust. If there is a decision to trust him or to not trust him, right now you have that decision to make. Do I trust him or do I not? And if you keep staying in that uneasy state, you don't do your deep breathing and let it go, you are going to stay in that not trusting, and then you're going to end up having a fight. Okay. Instead of that, you tell yourself, I believe in him. I trust him. I trust him to keep himself to a good standard wherever he is. I would not have stayed with him if I didn't believe that he was capable of it. I'm going to believe the best of him. That's what I believe. And just that's all. Don't keep letting stray thoughts come into your head, okay? And Diana, I be looking at your page. You be talking, the gossip. You post a lot of stuff, but you post a lot of stuff about like relationship stuff, and then you get all that feedback underneath, and that's a whole lot of fear speech, girl. I be saying it, I'll be like, oh Lord, that's gonna set her off. So be careful of that. I know that that's like your support system and everything to talk to everybody and let people know what's going on, but you post a lot of stuff about relationships, and then they give you that fear speech feedback, and then you start looking at him side eye. So you got to be careful what you're feeding into. Okay, you see what I'm talking about? That makes sense to you, right? I be looking. If you're my friend on Facebook, I be looking at what you post. I be checking because I be like, okay, is she in a good place or is she in a bad place right now? All right, if I see it's a relationship thing, I'll go, oh, she in a bad place right now. So be careful about that. Try not to give people the opportunity because most people are going to respond with fear. Most people are, and yeah, your anti-side chick stuff. Yeah, I'd be like, ooh, she in her feelings right now. She in her memories right now. Try not to post stuff like that because it feeds into the triggers, and so then when you see somebody else and they say something that's poignant or that's a fear that you have and something that you've been thinking about, then it validates it and then it blows it up in your brain like, see, everybody else knows it too. So just be careful about that. All right, everybody up here, be careful about that. It's just be careful about what you're posting about, because I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody always says, oh, well, just because I posted it doesn't mean that it was about you. I know every damn time it's about somebody, okay? I can read between lines. I can tell when you're posting something because you're mad at him, okay? I can tell it. I can see it. I know it. So don't think that it's hidden. Don't think that, oh, this is subliminal. It's not, okay? It's out there. It's showing exactly how you're feeling. You're showing exactly what you're thinking about. What you post is what you're thinking about. So if you posting stuff about side chicks, that's where your brain is. All right. So I'm just saying, don't believe that you're just hiding something from the world. And everybody knows when you post about somebody cheating, you're in that situation. Hey, I'm sorry. It is what it is. All right. Elise, hey, speaking of posting, I'm almost embarrassed to post them anymore because I feel the whole town knows and is laughing at me because she's from our town. It's probably my anxiety, but I hate that feeling. Girl, don't be letting them stress you. Okay, first of all, this is your page, all right? What you decide what goes on it, not because of other people, but because it makes you happy. It's things that you want to post. Now, honestly, I don't post my husband. I don't do it. first of all, he's not great about social media, and God knows getting him to take a picture is just like pulling teeth. But besides that fact, like on my personal page, like people don't need to know about him. Even in this page, I don't post him up here. I don't put pictures and stuff up there about him. I don't talk a whole bunch about our relationship online unless it's like something that has to do with this and it came from our past. But like our current relationship right now, I post a lot of that. Now I will post an anniversary picture or something like that. Did I post for his birthday? Yeah, I think I posted on his birthday. Yeah. But for the most part, I'm like, we're with each other, so I don't need to post you. I see you. I can just take pictures and stuff of you here. And it's much better pictures than the pictures that I get to post. The stuff that I post, I feel like I gotta have it kind of perfect. The pictures of just me and him or just us and the kids, like those are very casual, very candid posts. So I don't post those out on the public. I don't want everybody to see all the personal moments. I don't let them see that. So you don't even have to do that. You don't have to post if you don't want to, but don't let somebody stop you from posting. Don't do that. Don't let, oh, well, they're thinking things about me. Okay, I can guarantee you people are not thinking about you. You are not sitting there on their minds. They are not seeing you post stuff and be like, oh, look at her. They're not doing all that. People are too wrapped up in their own lives. Honestly, most people are not thinking about you, not laughing about you, unless you're right there in their face in the situation. They can see it. For the most part, they're not thinking about what bad situation has happened to you. They're thinking about the situation that they have to deal with. So, don't keep telling yourself that people care that much about you. It starts to make you feel a little egocentric. It starts to make you feel like, oh, damn. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I'm Superwoman because everything revolves around me. It starts to throw you off a little bit. So don't believe that. That was an anxiety that I had for a long time, that I was like, oh, people are looking at me and they think that I'm 6 feet tall and I'm a big girl. And for a long time, I was like, oh, people are thinking that I'm too tall or I'm too fat or my feet are too big or my butt is too big. My butt is huge. Okay, they could be thinking that. That is a possibility. It is possible, but I am not a mind reader. I am not. I do not have that skill, although I would love it. I do not have it. So I'm just making this shit up. I'm just making this up about what I think other people are thinking about me. So instead of that, how about thinking delusional good thoughts? If you're determined to believe the thought, if you're determined to believe that you have the ability to know what other people are thinking, if you're going to believe that, then believe it in a good way and not in a bad way. Believe it in, everybody is loving me. Everybody loves me. They think that I'm wonderful. They think that I'm awesome. I had the idea that everywhere I go, flashing lights. I need to wear sunglasses because the paparazzi is trying to take my picture, because everybody is screaming my name because they want to see me. They want to be involved with me. Because if I was going to lie about myself, I might as well lie good, right? It made sense to me. Now, if you're going to have a fixed false belief, it should probably be a positive one instead of a negative one. Does that make sense? Caroline, you said, I think I need to hear this bit. I'm glad you heard it. Because I've also been scared to post pictures of him or us. Yes, this is still your life. Why shouldn't you post things about your life? It's just Facebook. It's not meaning that, oh, everything is fixed, everything is wonderful. That's not what it means. It just means that this is my life right now. And that's what we're supposed to be posting. This is my life right now. Here you go. Let me give you a little window into it. Here's me. Here's my honey. We are here. We're together. We're doing all right. So yeah. Fanny, love that. Good. I'm glad. At least you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, just go ahead and go for it. Don't be there's I'm about to I just did this reel the other day. I haven't posted it yet, but it was the little girl that said, you can't worry about what other people think. Have you met other people? That I'm trying to tell you, I just recorded it the other day. But yeah, you can't worry about what other people think. Have you met them? they got issues of their own. They ain't worried about you. Don't worry about them. You go ahead and live your life as best as you possibly can. You live for joy and love and harmony and peace and openness and vulnerability and happiness. You live for that. Don't live for what, oh, somebody could be laughing at me. Somebody could be, sure. Right now, I'm on a group in front of 6,000 people. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I got all these people. You could all be laughing at me, but I'm going to put myself on the line. I'm put my heart out here. I'm going to tell what I have to tell. And consequences be damned. I'm going to live my life. And if, you know, I started doing this a few years ago and I was like, I don't know if anybody will connect with this. And look at you all connecting with this. So when you put yourself out there, people will want to connect with you, at least the people that are worth having. If they're not worth having, fuck them, okay? Bro. Diana, exactly. Nobody pays my bills. Exactly. I am. Imagine you getting worried about what somebody else says who pays no bills in your house. What? Craziness. Delusion. Don't be paying attention to that. That's ridiculous. No, your opinion counts for absolutely zero with me. Matter of fact, it's less than zero with me. You kidding me? I gotta live my life according to what you want. Ha! He said, preach this. And that's it. This is the way I'm living my life. This is the way I'm putting myself out here. And this is what made me survive. This is what got me through the pain part. Is screw everybody else, man. Do what you want. Live the life that you came here to live. And if it means that you're putting your heart on the line and that's scary, then damn right, that's what you're supposed to be doing. You think you're supposed to be sitting around here being safe forever? No, put yourself out there. Diane said, "Put my man." Exactly. Ain't nobody paying bills up in here but him. So I'm gonna go ahead and be friendly to him. That's who I'm gonna be friendly to. Everybody else can kick rocks. I ain't worried about no. He's my favorite person. He is like the only person who's like opinion that I really give a damn about. Other people, I'm like, okay, all right. I'm glad you feel like I would have cared about what you feeling, but really the only person I really worry about is the person I lay up with every night. Other than that, I'm sorry if you got a bad opinion, but I don't care. All right. All right, fabulous. All right, I get off on a rant about that. I really do, because that was the big thing that I had to get over. The most thing that I had to get over was feeling bad about it and just going for it. But what am I feeling bad about living my life? Ain't nobody else worried about my life. Ain't nobody else taking care of my problems. Just me. So, all right, I'm gonna do what I want. Diane said, crazy thing is there's a ton of people that have dealt with infidelity that just haven't said anything. We don't know what goes on in people's houses. Girl, that's how I ended up starting to do this. That's how that happened. I was doing couples. I thought that I was going to be I am ordained. I'm a wedding officiant. And I started off like, okay, I'm going to do weddings, and I want to be able to do premarital counseling before that, because premarital counseling was super important to us. I was like, oh, that's something you need to have. So if I was going to marry people, I was like, I'm going to do the premarital counseling. But I was doing that, working with couples, and it was always this. It was always this. Every single freaking time I'm working with a couple, it always comes back to, well, he cheated on me and I never quite got over it. Every damn time. That was what the problem was. And I was like, okay, let me just focus on that, because that's the answers that I keep having to give, is how to get past that part. So that's why I decided to go ahead and do that. But I come to find out from that experience, a whole bunch of people are lying when they're like, oh, I would never lower myself. I wouldn't be with them anymore. I have standards. I'm not a pick me. They've done it before. I can guarantee. All of that yakking, every person that has ever been talking all that crap, it is all fear speech, because they have done it and they just weren't successful at being with the person. And then that made them a little bitter. And so then they're going to continue going on like, oh, that's just such an impossible thing to do, because they couldn't do it. And I'm sorry that I didn't get to them beforehand, But I am here for you now. I am here for you. So I'm going to tell you once again, if you need me, let me know. Message me. You can message me on Love Coach Dasha. You can message me on Instagram, in my DMs. You can go on YouTube and comment on the YouTube video. However you want to reach out to me, reach out to me. I will help you. I have programs. I have programs all the way from like $88 a month for my recovery and reconciliation membership. Very easy to deal with. Or you can do one-on-one coaching with me. It's a little bit more expensive, but you got me one-on-one all the time. So yeah, there is something for everybody. If you need my help, I am here to help you. But I will continue to do this. I will continue to every week be here for the Healing Hour Live and tell you the things. If you look back in all these videos, you will hear all of the things, okay? You will be able to hear the whole dreams formula. You'll be able to hear every thought that I've ever had about this whole situation if you go back in the videos. But it's a little harder to like get your answer from the videos than to get it from me. So if you want to work with me so you can just directly get the answers from me, I got the answers. I got them for you. I can hand them out to you. But you got to work with me. You got to let me know that that's what you need from me, and I'm here for you, okay? All right. So Diana said, yeah, projection is real, girl. Yes. Infidelity is bad, but there's people dealing with worse. This can be fixed if both parties want it bad enough. Girl, yes, because we went through all of the things. Mine is bipolar disorder. So we went through jail, we went through a drug addiction, we went through all of the things. Okay. This actually wasn't the worst. The cheating thing was way less traumatic than dealing with him in the coke addiction. Okay, super hard. All right, so way worse things could happen, but it doesn't really even matter about is it worse, is it better. It's all painful, it's all trauma, and it's all healed the same way. You got to go through it and get past this in all the same ways. Like, he's been sober for he stopped counting at like 8. So it's been about like 3 more years. So 8, 9, 10, 11 years maybe now. Dang, I have to give him a little credit for that. I think at the beginning of the year, it was like 11 years. So, he's been sober now. Okay, but we had to get past that part. There are so many things that can go wrong. So many things in a relationship that could always happen. But you got to recognize if you got the person that you really want to be with, you go through some stuff, Congratulations. Thank you. I will let him know you said so, because that's all him. That is all him working on his own stuff, figuring out it. Just the fact that I dragged him to the doctor and I made him find out that he had PTSD and he was bipolar. And now he's like, once he found that out, it was like learning something about himself, finally understanding what the hell had been happening to him for his entire life. He didn't realize that there was anything strange about staying up for days at a time. He didn't think there was anything strange about running around and having sex with strange women. He didn't think that that was odd because his brain wasn't working properly at the time. So, and thinking the drugs was the greatest thing since sliced bread. People who have bipolar disorder love cocaine because it keeps feeding that manic high. So they keep on flying high. So all of it went together. And once he figured that out, he was much better. But, you got to figure all that out first. You got to know what your trauma is. You got to know what your mental issues are. And most people don't, because that's not something that is fixated on when we're young. And when we're having troubles and somebody could actually diagnose us and figure out what's wrong with us early, that doesn't happen. And so now we got to figure it out when we're grown-ups and we're trying to be in a relationship and trying to be happy. So, he figured it out. He figured out what the hell was going on in his brain. And now it's much easier to move forward because he's got a grip on that. He understood, he had to stop doing all of the things that were bad. Yes, especially for men. Yes. And, it's a lot of people because there's just not enough mental health out here. Even with girls, like I'm 40, almost 42. I'll be 42 next month. And I am just now in like this last year coming to grips with the fact that I probably have had ADHD my whole life. I had no flipping idea. I was a nurse for like 20 years and I didn't know. So I think a lot of us are walking around here with some undiagnosed stuff, and we got to work on it. We got to work on our stuff so then we can be better people, better partners, work through our stuff, and be happier all the way around instead of just suffering the way so many people are suffering. Right? So much suffering in the world. It really is. All right. Anything else? Anything else I can answer for you? Questions, comments, thoughts, complaints? I take it all. I don't mind. Deborah. Hi, Deborah. It says, thank you. This has helped me decide what I need to do. I was letting a couple of my friends influence me about not working it out. So I prayed on it and God sent me to your live and I got my answers. Yay. My husband is doing the hard work and I'm not giving up on him. That's right. You don't give up on what you want. If this is your person, this is your person. Yeah, they mess up sometimes. You're going to mess up too. So let's just accept that as part of the whole deal. We are not going to always do the right things, but we're going to try and fix them. We're for the people that we love. That's the whole point. You can't avoid not doing something wrong. You can't avoid, doing something wrong to somebody that you love because they're super close to you. But it's all in how you follow through. If you're trying to do better, if you're trying to show that you are remorseful and that you love them still and you are trying to carry on with your part of the relationship, all right, give the person some slack. That's all right to do. You're not doing anything wrong, Deborah. Don't let that fear that they are speaking to you in make you come off the healing path. All right. You stick your feet on the healing path and head in the direction of our relationship is going to be happy, healthy. I am headed to the castle. That's our castle in the distance. We are trying to get there so we can be nice and happy at home and chilling together. I'm going to travel this healing path just to get to that with my honey. Keep that in mind. Keep on going that direction. Don't get pulled off the path into the woods. Because, honey, let me tell you, your friends can get you in the woods. But it's so much better when you just make that decision yourself and just go for it, Woo, Deborah said, I am firmly on the healing path. I know that's right. That's what I'm trying to say. Just lock your feet on. Stay on the path. Stay on the lighted path. Do not stray into the woods. The woods will get you. Girl, the woods will get you. The trees start moving. Things start messing you up. You don't know where you are. Stay on the path. You'll get there. It's just the fact that sometimes it's a little dark. Sometimes you're not quite sure. Just keep your feet on the path. Love and over fear every time. If it's something that you are feeling fearful about and the fear is screaming at you to do it, do not do it. It is always off the healing path when you're listening to the fear. You're in the woods. If you are doing something with love, it might be scary to do. It might be scary. It might be like, well, I don't want to touch him. I don't want to hold his hand. I don't want to do that. But it's something loving that you could do. You do the loving thing. And that's it. That is the healing path right there. Even if you don't know the dreams formula, that is the path. All right. So I'm glad you're on the path. Good job. I'm glad. That's the Thirsty Thursday right there. Good stuff. Oh, that's something I could be grateful for right there. I love to hear good stuff like that. I like to, my husband always says that he regrets that this happened, but I grew. I became something different. And I'm a Gemini and I love to be something different. And this was a thing that made me grow into the woman that I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be here to tell you this stuff. That's what I was supposed to be doing. And so I just got to accept the fact that I had to go through the pain to get to the place where I was supposed to be. And if you have experienced the pain, that is absolutely what is happening for you. You have experienced this pain to get to who you need to be on the other side of it. So just trust that you're on the right path. Keep on going towards healing and you'll be doing well. All right. So affirmations. I'm getting ready to go. Affirmations, whatever you tell your brain every single solitary day is an affirmation, whether it is a positive thing or a negative thing. Now, if you keep on telling your brain, he never loved me, he never really wanted me, and you say that every day over and over and over again, your brain will give you feedback on those thoughts and say, oh, yes, of course. I'll give you reasons to think that he never loved you. This particular instance showed that he didn't care about you. it will give you the feedback to those thoughts. It will add thoughts to it. Now, if you choose a positive thought, your brain, after about 17 seconds of thinking the positive thought, your brain will offer up another matching positive thought. That's why affirmations work. It is brain training. All right. So we need to be training our brains. And I have an affirmation for you today. Today, I am compassionate. We're not talking about that with the Y. It matches right up. It's amazing. This deck just keeps showing me the card that I need to have. Today, I am compassionate. Today, I will reach out to help another person feel better about themselves. And that nicely, that could be your honey. You could figure out what the hell made him do this, sick, sad, or stupid, and offer him a little bit of compassion for the thing that was hurting that made him do such a stupid thing. Um, Most of us do painful things to other people because we're hurting. And so we want somebody to recognize our pain. We want somebody to recognize that I'm hurting, I am struggling here, and nobody is helping me with it. If you come to your mate and say, hey, I know this is something that you struggled with, talk to me about it, then you're offering compassion to him, you're understanding more about what happened, and you're getting closer with your honey. Win, 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 all the way around. All right. So today I'm compassionate. Today I will reach out and help another person feel good about themselves. Today I am compassionate. Today I will reach out and help another person feel better about themselves. Today I am compassionate. Today I will reach out and help another person feel better about themselves. Let them know. Yeah, I understand. I understand how you could have been in a bad place. I get it. I understand where your brain could have told you that this bad idea was a good idea. I get that. All right. I understand where you were coming from. You had some pain that was going on. All right. What can we do about pain going in the future so that this doesn't happen again? All right. That's not really compassion. Don't do it. Don't do it like that. Don't do compassion with the end being I get something out of it. Be compassionate to somebody because it's the right thing to do. It is the loving thing to do for your person. And then after that, it benefits you. Okay? It just does. Doing the right thing, doing the loving thing is a benefit no matter what. It really is. All right. I think that's it. That's it. Is that all I got? I think that's about it for today. All right. Woo! All right. I had a hard time with the voice, but I made it through. Even I made it like an hour and 45 minutes. So I did more than my part. I was able to talk a lot better than I thought I could. So other than that, I will be back again next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Healing Hour Live. In the meantime, do not do what the fear tells you to do. When there is an opportunity to trust or not to trust, believe, trust. And I love you. And I'm so, so proud of you for what you're doing. I'm proud of you for exercising unconditional love. You deserve it. Okay? All right, y'all. That's it. That's all I got. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'll see you again next week. If you need me, if you want to work with me, let me know. Message me. All right. Bye on Instagram. And bye over here on Facebook and YouTube.